With a massive £250 million summer war chest at their disposal, Newcastle United are preparing for a defining transfer window, one that could shape the next chapter in the club's resurgence. Among the top names on their list is none other than Brighton's Brazilian sensation, JOAO Pedro, a player who has quietly but confidently made a huge impression in the Premier League. JOAO Pedro's name has been circled in red on Newcastle's transfer board, and for good reason. Since arriving in England, the forward has developed into one of the most exciting young attacking talents in the league. Combining natural Brazilian flair with an intelligent footballing brain, JOAO Pedro plays with a maturity well beyond his years. His movement, link-up play, and ability to unlock defenses make him an ideal target for a team looking to take that next big step. For Newcastle, this isn't just about adding another player, it's about adding the right player. The club has already laid strong foundations under their current regime, but with Champions League ambitions and a hunger to compete with England's elite, they know the time has come to invest wisely and decisively. JOAO Pedro represents everything they're looking for: youth, versatility, Premier League experience, and a high ceiling for development. Behind the scenes, talks are beginning to intensify. Newcastle's recruitment team has been closely monitoring JOAO Pedro's performances throughout the season. His ability to play across the front line, drop deep to create space, or make incisive runs in behind defenders has impressed scouts and analysts alike. With every match, he strengthens his case as a top-tier talent worthy of a high-profile move. And it's not just his talent on the pitch that's turning heads. JOAO Pedro's mentality, work ethic, and composure under pressure have also earned him praise. At just 22, he carries himself with the poise of a veteran, constantly learning, constantly evolving. A perfect fit for a Newcastle side that values character as much as ability. With £250 million to spend, Newcastle are expected to be aggressive in the market. The club's ambitions are no secret. They want to challenge for major honours and build a squad capable of sustaining success for years to come. Bringing JOAO Pedro to St. James's Park would be a powerful signal of intent, not just to rivals, but to supporters around the world. Newcastle are here, and they're building something special. As the summer window approaches, expect the buzz to grow louder. JOAO Pedro is high on Newcastle's list, and with the resources, vision, and desire to make a real impact, the Magpies could very well swoop in and make one of the most exciting moves of the summer. For months now, Newcastle's recruitment team has quietly but intently tracked JOAO Pedro's progress. His silky first touch, explosive change of pace, and sharp instincts in front of goal have not gone unnoticed. At just 22, he embodies the rare blend of youth and experience. A player who has adapted to the English game, yet still carries the unpredictability of his South American roots. What makes JOAO Pedro so appealing isn't just his statistics, but his style, his ability to turn defenders inside out, drop into pockets of space, or suddenly burst through the lines with ruthless precision. Newcastle are not just looking for a name, they're looking for a game changer, and JOAO Pedro fits that mold perfectly. Sources close to the club suggest that internal discussions have ramped up in recent weeks. There is a belief within Newcastle's camp that JOAO Pedro could be a transformational figure in the front line, not just for his goals, but for how he elevates the players around him. With creative midfielders feeding through balls and wide men creating chaos on the flanks, the Brazilian could be the final piece in a puzzle that Newcastle have been carefully assembling over the past 2 seasons. Brighton, of course, are aware of the growing interest. They won't let their prized asset leave easily, and any deal would likely come at a premium. But with £250 million to spend and a vision firmly locked on success, Newcastle are ready to pay what it takes to bring top talent to the northeast. And for João Pedro himself, a move to St. James's Park would offer the chance to step into the spotlight of one of English football's most passionate fan bases. The roar of 52,000 supporters, the historic stadium under the lights, and a team full of energy and hunger. It's a stage worthy of his flair and ambition. This isn't just a transfer rumor, it's the beginning of a potential headline story that could shake the Premier League landscape. Newcastle's interest in João Pedro is strong, serious, and very real. The interest is real, the opportunity is there, and if Newcastle get their way, João Pedro could be lighting up St. James's Park in black and white next season. The winds of change are stirring at Anfield, and one name now making waves is Hugo Ekitike. The young French striker has been named as a potential replacement for Darwin Núñez, sparking debate among Liverpool fans and football observers alike. With speculation surrounding Núñez's future at the club, the question becomes inevitable. Is Ekitike the right man to step into one of the most demanding attacking roles in world football? It's a bold prospect. Darwin Núñez arrived at Liverpool with a thunderclap of expectation, and though his time has been marked by both promise and frustration, no one can deny the impact he brings on the pitch. His pace, power, and relentless pressing have caused chaos for defenses across the Premier League. But inconsistency in front of goal has shadowed his progress, leading to growing questions about whether he's the long-term answer. Enter Hugo Ekitike, 22 years old, elegant on the ball, and quietly ambitious. Currently on loan at Eintracht Frankfurt from PSG, Ekitike's career has taken a winding path. A standout season at Stade de Reims caught the attention of Europe's elite, and a move to PSG followed. But with limited opportunities in a star-studded squad, he's had to fight for his moments, something that has shaped both his character and hunger. Ekitike isn't the explosive force that Núñez is, but he brings a different kind of threat. His movement is intelligent, his link-up play polished. He glides rather than charges. There's a calmness to his game that contrasts with Núñez's frenetic energy, and that might just be what Liverpool need. Someone who finishes with composure rather than chaos. Still, questions linger. Can Ekitike handle the pressure of leading Liverpool's line? Week in, week out? Anfield doesn't wait for potential to mature. It demands excellence from day one. Núñez, despite his flaws, has produced goals and assists, even if his finishing sometimes left fans with their heads in their hands. Ekitike, by contrast, is still unproven at the very highest level. He has talent, but does he have the edge? There's also the matter of system. Liverpool's high-octane, high-pressing style needs a forward who can run, harass, and disrupt. Ekitike has shown glimpses of that, but not over an entire season. Could he thrive under Liverpool's intensity, or would it expose his inexperience? One thing is certain. Ekitike's name being mentioned in the same breath as Núñez speaks to the faith some see in his ability. His age, his profile, and his potential make him an intriguing candidate. But stepping into Núñez's shoes would require more than just raw talent. It would demand leadership, consistency, and fearlessness under the brightest lights. If Liverpool were to make that move, it wouldn't just be a transfer. It would be a statement, a gamble, a belief in the future over the present. And so, as the speculation grows, all eyes turn to Ekitike. He may not yet be the finished product, but in the right hands, under the right manager, and with the right support, he could become the next name to echo around the COP. At just 22, Hugo Ekitike is still shaping his identity in European football. His journey has already seen dramatic turns, from bursting onto the scene at Reims to being snapped up by Paris Saint-Germain, only to find game time limited in a star-packed squad. Now on loan at Eintracht Frankfurt, he's once again trying to prove that his talent isn't just potential, it's real, and it's ready. The idea of him stepping into Nunez's role is as exciting as it is daring. Darwin Nunez brought fire and fight to Liverpool's front line. His style is wild, unpredictable, and often unstoppable, but just as often frustrating. He stretches defenses with raw pace and tenacity, but his finishing can leave fans torn between celebration and disbelief. He's a forward who plays on the edge of brilliance, of chaos, and sometimes of control. Ekitike, in contrast, plays with a different rhythm. Smooth, composed, and sharp, he's the kind of striker who doesn't rush. He reads the moment, holds his position, and lets the ball come to him. Where Nunez muscles his way into chances, Ekitike glides into space. He doesn't just finish, he crafts. But stepping into Liverpool's attack is no small task. The system demands intensity. The fans demand hunger. The badge demands results. Ekitike would arrive not just to play, but to lead. And while his talent is evident, leading the line at Anfield is a world away from flickers of brilliance in League One or Bundesliga. Liverpool's expectations are steep and constant. There's no room to warm up slowly. Still, Ekitike has something that Liverpool could shape. He's young, technical, and fearless. For now, though, the question remains, is he ready to be the man at Liverpool? Time will tell. And in football, time often moves faster than anyone expects.